Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Wednesday evening and we have a special guest right over here. It's not me, it's not Zach, it is Scott Fish. How's it going, Scott?
What's going on?
Man.
What's going on? Did you expect me to show up randomly as the music was playing?
I did not. I was absolutely not ready for that. I mean, I do that singing every single time, but
Do you do
I
that singing every time? I did not know that.
yeah, that's me feeling the jam of that intro song. It gets, the Miami Sound Machine had it right. Sooner or later, the rhythm is going to get you, and that gets me every single time.
This is an incredible night for me because about an hour and a half ago, I was on a call with Matthew Berry for a while.
Okay.
And I just got off the phone with Evan Silva. And
Okay.
then I read my son a book, and then I came on here with you two. It is like the all-star of all-star lineups. It's like Thursday night NBC lineup back in the late 90s is what's going on for me tonight.
Yeah, because when you think of Matthew Berry and Evan Silva, Russ and Zach are absolutely the next two names that come right to the tip of your tongue.
Absolutely. I don't see it any differently. It is what it is. It's awesome. It's wonderful.
I feel like it's a little bit like when my kids say, "You're the best dad we've had," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm at least in the top 5."
Yeah.
So you're also the worst. That's what my youngest will say. My youngest has no bones about that.
Yeah, that is something a younger one would say. That is absolutely something my daughter would say as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So what do you do on this show? I kind of just jumped in, and I generally tune in at the end of it most weeks, but my son's at a basketball clinic tonight. So I was able to jump in right away and check it out, see what's going on.
Your son's going to be putting on a clinic. That's what's going to be happening. This is literally all we do. We just sit here and we talk to each other, and then some people come and listen and ask some questions or talk along with us. Like here, we have Brainburst right away saying, "So torn in my SFE Week 1 playoff squad. I think I'm playing Danny DeVito. Tommy, hopefully, and Neighbors this week. I'm terrified. I mean,
it's. Can you imagine if they merged Danny Dimes and Tommy DeVito together to make one super quarterback?
It would be a super something. I don't know if it'd be a super quarterback.
That's Brainburst. I'm in a similar situation. I wish I had Neighbors. I've got the beauty of a bye week for the Saints, which doesn't help, and also I've been injuries, and so I've been waiver wire, like dumpster diving. Yeah. If we're a first round playoff.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's call it what it was. Tommy DeVito wasn't terrible last year for fantasy. Like,
he crushed it that Thanksgiving game he started, the one against the Packers, I think it was. Was it DeVito versus the Packers?
I don't know who. I just watched all of the games this week, and I still don't remember who played who this week. So here we go. Yeah, they have Carr on bye. So DeVito over Bryce Young. Yeah, like, I mean, DeVito's fine. Like, if anything, like, he's not the kind of backup that seems like a scared to throw the ball, which is always what you're really worried about when it's a backup. Someone who's like too afraid to just throw it. And especially when you have someone like Neighbors, you want that volume because he's clear head and shoulders the best receiver on that field. So the target should go to him because he should be the first read in most plays.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going with the idea of rolling out Eric Gray too, just for the check down, third down, that sort of thing.
That is 3D chess right there.
It's not 3D chess. It's 0 startable pieces.
I mean, sometimes that happens. In a league last week, I looked at the stats and I'm like, Amir Abdullah has 3+ catches in every single blowout. So I started him and he scored a touchdown. So, like, I mean, sometimes that backup in a weird like narrative play works.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's ugly. Like Chase Brown's on by, Bijan's on by, my kicker's on by. Like it's
six teams on by. It's rough.
Yeah.
See what does Zach and Russ do every night, every Wednesday evening? We entertain. That's what we do.
So, is it just? It's just random. You go off on whatever tangent. Because I have a tangent. I would love to ask your opinion on, as industry stalwarts that you are.
Go on.
And the chat can chime in as well. So I am the chairperson of the Fantasy Sports Hall of Fame committee, right? And this year, I look at the list of nominees, and mind you, only 3 can get in, and my brain is broken. So this is the nominees for this year for the Fantasy Sports Hall of Fame. Pierre Biquet, who was the producer for Talented Mr. Roto and for Roto World, and now he's the fantasy content producer at ESPN. Sigmund Bloom, Jake Seeley, Mike Clay, Jamie Eisenberg, Liz Loza, Evan Silva, Rick Wolf, who runs Fantasy Alarm and was one of the original guys at Roto World, Phil Backert, who is a SiriusXM producer guy, Clayton Gray, who's like the general manager of Football Guys, and Jeff Manns with his fantasy football SiriusXM show.
Mm-hmm. And you have 3 spots?
We only have 3 spots. I get 3 votes. All the people get 3 votes. I can only vote for 3 of those.
See,
where do your 3 votes go? And I can list them again for the chat.
On a dartboard, so you can then cover your eyes and throw 3 darts, assuming you hit the board with those 3 darts. I don't know how you choose that.
Let's be completely honest. If we did it baseball rules, like baseball Hall of Fame rules, like 5 of those people are first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the password, all one word. You just like write in each of your slots like 5 names all compressed together.
Yeah.
Now, is this an every year thing? Like every year?
Yeah, it's every year, but only 3 max can get in. 2 or 3 get in every year. And I've been chairperson of this board for 2 or 3 years now. And we've put in some good people, but every year I'm just really annoyed that only 2 or 3 can get in. And the fantasy industry has exploded to the point so many content creators that are awesome that we're getting to the point where every year the whole list should get in, you know?
Yeah.
But then it wouldn't be special.
I mean, I don't know. To me, that's a funky. Yeah, and I am with Faith on but I'm very biased. Like Liz is my favorite fantasy analyst of all time, like forever. I'd listen to her, but man, that's a list.
A little behind the scenes, all 6 board members get 2 nominees, and then we get 3 votes. Liz was my nominee each of the last 2 years. One of my nominees. And it's not a hard fast rule, but we try to only vote for one of our own nominees and then the other 2 votes to other nominees, so that we actually keep an open mind and listen to the other arguments. Liz has been my nominee, one of my nominees the last 2 years. It's just impossible. It's impossible with that list. Bloom, Seeley, Clay, Eisenberg, Loza, Silva. It's just And some of the behind the scenes guys are absolutely as valuable too.
Yes.
It's just I'm mentioning those because the people in the chat and you guys are like, oh yeah, wow.
Well, but that like you mentioned, like right off the rip, producing Talented Mr. Roto and continuing on, that whole list, like Talented Mr. Roto started it all with Barrett.
Pierre was like behind the scenes and a writer, but Pierre was behind the scenes at Talented Mr. Roto, Roto World, and now ESPN.
Yeah,
that's some pedigree, man.
Like,
Not
do we
pedigree,
throw
but, like,
seniority into this? Like, some of these kids will be around next. Well, that was really poorly worded because I'm sure Pierre is going to be around next year. But like, you get Pierre in now because the young kids are still going to keep it going anyway.
yeah, my sometimes I wonder about, like, Rick and Evan come to mind for this, especially because Rick is now retired, but he's still doing stuff. But he's been integral in this industry, and
Yeah.
Evan Silva is less front facing now for a few reasons, but he also just an absolute legend in the industry. And I worry that, the longer that they don't get in, maybe they just fall to the side. And I don't want that to happen.
Evan Silva was the first fantasy football follow I did on Twitter. He was like the first person I saw like just tweeting about fantasy football. So like that's a special place right here.
And done with producers make and break most shows.
Yes.
Phil Backert, if you listen to a Sirius XM show, like, he's the guy that makes it happen. Like, he is like the guy, one of the main producers at Sirius XM. It's an unbelievable list.
That's such a wild. This is not. This is adjacent, but like my father's on the Maine Baseball Hall of Fame committee, and it's the same thing. Where, like, obviously not to the extent of the fantasy baseball, but like there are guys who played in the majors. There are guys, and then you have these like coaches that have 400 wins, and it's like how do you put everybody in when you only have so many nominees and so many spots a year?
Yeah, that's why you have to play the waiting game almost, where it's like who will not be hurt by waiting another year and who would be hurt if they don't get in this year.
That was my thought on a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
And I mean,
like that shouldn't be the only factor.
You can go down the list on people not nominated. Like Andy Behrens and Pat Doherty are on the board, so they're not eligible. But even past them, you got like guys like, like Heath Cummings or Ray Flowers, Matt Harmon, JJ Zacharyson,
they're in their 20s. They got plenty of time.
They're not, but
I know, but
John Paulson. Yeah, I'm looking at the list. It's absurd the amount of people that should be in.
All right, so did you make up your mind?
Did I? God no.
You got it? You figured it out?
God no.
I'll be honestly, interested to see.
So we meet the next time we meet is early January, and we'll discuss it. Yeah. And we all have like 5 minutes to pitch our two nominees.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
And
do you have like a rubric, like criteria? I mean, I know that everyone kind of makes it, but sometimes that makes it easier if you can be like, okay, well, these, they do this, or they did this, or they did this.
So we have a bio and fact sheet and resume for all the nominees. We have them fill it out, and so we have some background to look at. Yes, absolutely. It's a process, but it's a very fun process, and it's a very positive process because being nominated, it's like probably like like Academy Award type stuff. Like being nominated is awesome, and knowing 2 to 3 of these people are getting in is awesome, and it's always positive, good news. I suppose for 7, 8, 9 of them, whatever it's going to be, you didn't get in this year, but being nominated is cool, and you're probably on the short list for another year.
Yeah. I that's pretty geek out worthy just to be on that nominated list, I think.
Yeah. I feel like I've derailed the show already. But
no, this is literally the show.
This is literally what we do.
This is what we do.
We have something to talk about. We talk about it. That's literally we're going to end up talking about food very soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, that happens.
Brainburst wants to talk about wrestling though.
So Evan called me and we were chatting about it, and he showed the email to his 12-year-old daughter, and me with an 11-year-old son, and she was giddy, excited about it and stuff. And me with an 11-year-old son, I'm like, man, that would be a cool moment, like we're is very, very cool. And before that, I guess I can segue into this. Before that, I was in a call with Matthew and the 11 other people in his league, Matthew Berry, and the 11 other people in his league. And we were on a Zoom call chatting, because that's part of the deal when you get in the Matthew Berry league, that you get to be on a hour and a half Zoom call chatting with Matthew, asking him whatever you want, just him telling stories and stuff like that. And God, that is fun. God, that is, it is so
Married with Children. Every single time I would just ask him about Married with Children stories.
Married with Children didn't come up. It didn't come up, but that would be funny. That would be funny. No, it was a really good time. It's just a testament to Matthew, though. He is he goes out of his way for people that, like, I have stories that people will never hear, that of ways Matthew has gone out of his way for other people, and just how down to earth and nice he is, and willing to help when there's nothing in it for him, which is just completely awesome of Matthew.
Yeah, every year when he's on the Podathon, I love listening to him talk to everyone on the screen, because he could easily big time these people and just be like, I'm here because for as a favor for Scott, whatever, I'm here for a half hour. I'm just going to talk about my stuff and go. But he converses with everyone. He listens to everyone and like joins a conversation. He doesn't just like want to talk about his stuff and that's it. Like, he'll get into conversations that, like, if someone makes a stupid comment and it leads to a conversation, he'll jump into it. Like, it's not like it's surprising or anything, because it's just what you know of him at this point, but it's still awesome to see every single year.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if I've told this on here. I'm gonna tell Matthew's story that tells you what kind of person he is. But I don't know. I've told this before, but not too often publicly. So a few years ago, when Kirk Cousins was on the Vikings, have I told you the Matthew Berry Kirk Cousins story?
No, I haven't heard it.
Okay, so it's a behind the scenes story. So a few years ago, when Cousins was on the Vikings, probably his second year on the Vikings, something like that, we're doing our Toys for Tots shopping trips, fantasy cares, etc. So I'm at Disney. It's, God, I don't even know what month it is, but I'm at Disney. No, I was at Universal. I was at Universal hotel room. It is 9 p.m. at night. It's like probably 9:30. Like, the kids are starting to go down, etc. It's late at night. I get a text from Matthew, and he's like, "Can you call me real quick?" And I'm like, "All right, I'm going to call you." And so I walk out of the room, call him, and he's like, "So I'm friends with Kirk Cousins' agent, and I know you do these Toys for Tots shopping trips. Let's see if we can get Kirk there." So we exchange emails and phone calls, etc. We try to make it happen. It doesn't happen because our Toys for Tots shopping trips are during the season, and that's we tried to make it happen, but it couldn't happen. It didn't happen. Kirk didn't come, whatever. That's just scheduling. It happens. But what stands out to me about that story that I like to try to pinpoint, to point out to people, is that 9 p.m., I didn't mention this at the top, but 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night, Matthew Berry was thinking about how he could help someone else out randomly. Like, that's just, that floors me, that he texted me 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night. He's like, "You know what? I could help out here. I could do something really good for someone else." And I feel like that really exemplifies a lot about Matthew Berry. That he went out of his way on a random, evening, thinking about how to help someone else out. Which,
that's awesome. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if the chat really cared about that story very much, but
Well, they sat there and they listened to it. That's all that
they
matters.
sat and listened to it. Absolutely.
Well, speaking of helping people out, let's help out Brainburst because he's debating Pollard versus Laporta versus Hopkins versus Dowdle as his final flex. If Spears is out with the concussion, I'd say go Pollard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, which I can't imagine because he definitely didn't practice today, I saw. And usually at this point, if you get a concussion, you're usually out the next week. So I'm going to say go with Pollard.
Yeah, almost always. It's like a 90% clip. I used to do the data on it with concussion protocol, but it used to be borderline a guarantee.
Yeah.
And now it almost seems like most people seem like they missed 2, at least. I think Neighbors did. For sure, he missed 2 weeks. I know there was at least 2 other people that I can't remember who they are anymore because it's been more than 20 minutes, so I don't remember. But yeah, it seems like concussions are being maybe harder to come back from, which should be a good thing, because concussions are bad.
Yeah, or they're being more serious about them at this point.
Yeah. Hey guys, 3rd top scorer here. Never thought I'd be rooting for Cavante Turpin. Hey Cesar, how's it going? Yeah, I've been saying this guy's name on Tuesdays for a long time now.
I feel like that he deserves a round of applause. Top 3 is impressive.
Oof, was number 1 for a while too. So my dog's been having acid reflux issues for months now, where she just throws up randomly, and it was getting worse, and my vet wasn't being very helpful, so we switched vets, and this vet was just like, let's figure this out. So by the way, if you have a pet and don't have pet insurance, go get pet insurance, because oh man, what this would have cost me, or I should say, oh man, what I had to pay up front. Because it'll get reimbursed. But so it turns out she has a hiatal hernia. But when they were giving her tests, she was getting so worked up that they had to mildly sedate her. And while she was sedated, she must have inhaled mucus, and she gave herself pneumonia.
Oh no.
So Saturday night, she's just not acting herself. She's lethargic. She hasn't eaten in like a day. And we're just like, no, that's it. Let's go. So we take her to the emergency vet. And I'm sure that's what Faith is remembering, that I just blue skied out. And now we're going to the emergency vet. Because she had 2 vet visits, which again, were seemingly going very well in the direction of that we finally have an answer and everything. But now we can't get the hernia fixed until she's done with her antibiotics, and then her body has time, what should have been taken care of today, now has to wait 3 weeks to fully get taken care of. But she's doing great. She's pretty much herself now. We've started splitting her meals into smaller bits so it gives less acid. We've upped her amount of medication at this point, but she's great. You drop her medicine on top of her food and she
just goes after it.
Yeah. So she's doing good. She's great. She's back to being herself. Is it a good return week for Marvin Mims? All right, we can do this now.
Russ's returns.
Oh, look at that. It's got a name. Hold on, let me zoom in. A little too far. Okay, let me pull up the schedule. Who's Denver playing this week?
This is the kind of thing that isn't going to work as well next year, because when we do the scoring of kick returners,
Oh, so
it's going to be
points.
Yes.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, it's going to be way different.
So much harder. Bringing that into Wednesdays. Love it. So the Broncos play against the Raiders, and it looks like Vegas has about 30%. So you're looking at 1/3 of their kicks. The problem is Raiders probably aren't going to score that many points. So 1/3 of 3 is still only 1.
Minshew hater.
Hey, it's just the reality of what they have been doing lately. I mean, like, technically, when you look at it, 30% isn't terrible. It's above the halfway mark, just about. So, and with Bo Nix playing Rookie of the Year level football right now, at least in one game, it might be worth starting Mims because he gets 60, 70 yards of returns and then catches a touchdown. You're looking at 20 points.
That's a lot of ifs for me.
But. Oh yeah, you don't feel great. You don't feel great about starting Marvin Mims. It depends who you're starting him over. If you're starting him over, the people you're finding on the waiver wire, I think that's pretty good. But
yeah, what are you trying to say? I felt like you took a swipe, Russ, at my waiver wire.
I was empathizing.
Starting lineup.
I was not swiping. And did Russ get new ink? Yes. So, I mean. And I've showed everyone the Bell and the Bear for Noli Bear and Ellie Bell. This was here before the Stitch wearing the unicorn onesie and Kirby wearing the Link hat and sword. So I added the Heart of Te-Fiti from Moana. Oh. I added a Mario hat, a mermaid tail, and Swiper the Fox's tail. Because my son was weirdly attached to Swiper the Fox for a very long time, to the point he had a doll. He had a doll, and we had backup dolls in case he lost it. That's how attached he was. And just clearly everything else. And then I started filling in, like you see all of the watercolor going around. Well, not back there. All the watercolor. And I have one more appointment to get that part filled in, and then Trish says I need to be done for a while after that one.
I can't wait. I got my countdown set. It's 258 days till I get to see those in person, Russ. So it actually might be sooner than that, depending on Scott Fishbowl live drafts. But
just curious, how did the three of you meet, and how did you become such an integral part of Fantasy Cares? I mean, we met on the internet. I mean, that's it all started with that. And I'll always tell the exact same story where I started annoying my way into it in the first part. Like I annoyed my way into being friends with Scott. Like when Commission Possible first started, like I would write questions every single week and then talk about writing questions every single week. And then I was like, hey, you guys talk about wanting to do this. I'll pull information for I'll send out some forms. I'll do something.
I do remember that. I remember
that. And then it really it's all John Bosch and Bob Gilchrist's fault, really. Because they're willing to be pushy and I'm willing to grab onto other people's coattails. That's really the story. And I don't even really mean that in a self-deprecating way, which is usually half the things I say about myself are self-deprecating. But that's really it really is thanks to John and Bob, because they had some ideas to be able to help, and I was able to help with the ideas that they had, and I just kept it's really funny. Hoove put out a Blue Sky, because I'm just calling them Blue Skies even though they're on Blue Sky. What makes you...
It's good for branding to do that.
Yeah. What makes you unique as a content creator? And I said, I never know how to answer this question. So my joke answer is always, I just started talking and no one ever told me to stop. and that's exactly how I got into working with Fantasy Cares. I had my foot in the door and I just kept talking and no one said, what are you doing here? So that's really, I guess, how I got my way into this. And I mean, Zach got his way into this because he's brilliant and beautiful.
It's just because I keep showing up. If you just show up and do stuff, eventually people think you're supposed to be there.
I mean, you do the songs.
Honestly, with Fantasy Cares, that is 1,000,000,000% the truth. Yeah. 1,000,000,000%.
I mean, I started with the fishbowl with the was the night before fishbowl before I was in the fishbowl.
Yep.
But just because,
I'm sure that got you in the first one that you were in. Probably, maybe not.
It very well could have.
No, yeah.
But it just was such a to me, it's a no-brainer. The Fantasy Cares, the fishbowl. and I don't, if you're in the chat, if you're on Blue Sky and follow any of us, I get to do last night the Toys for Tots buy and donate. It was unbelievable, and that just kind of epitomizes everything that this entire fantasy cares and the community that surrounds it is. It's taking all of us and any good that we can do and kind of channeling it. And Scott, I always say you kind of like catalyzed everything. You're the spearhead, and everyone kind of follows. And there's so much good behind that wave. And to me, it was a no-brainer to just try to do anything to be part of that.
And no matter how much we try and kick him out of here, he just keeps showing up. So
Keeps showing up.
I guess he belongs here. It's fine.
That's Bob's fault. Bob is like, do you have a song for this? And I'm like, no, but I can in 20 minutes.
Yeah. So give me 20.
Can I want to tell a story about the early days of trying to push charity on the community. just based on where that conversation was. So for the better part of a decade, I would go on lots of shows. And when you tag the show, a tag is what you do at the end of something. Like even with TV shows, they have tags where after the credits, there's like a tag, right? A tag is at the end of the show. So when I would tag at the end of the show, when you're like, find me at Scottfish24 on Twitter, etc., I would either do one of two things or both. I would try to push Debbie, be like, oh, watch next year in rookie drafts for Jay Ajayi, right? But usually I would say, hey, if you're in a fantasy league, consider giving one entry fee to charity. Talk to your league, give one entry fee to charity. They won't be against it. Every little bit helps. We have 100,000 leagues. If we all do this, it would make a huge difference. And I still kind of throw that message out there. But I went on one show, and I will never forget this guy's name. And he is still in the industry. This is probably about 8 to 10 years ago now. And he followed it up after I said, give one entry fee to charity. He followed up with, yeah, charity's great and all, but that takes from the pot, and people want to get people want that pot. They want to win as much money as possible. And I will never forget that for the rest of my life. That every time I went on a show, everybody was cool with it. They're like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a cool idea. Whether they're into it or not, they were like, that's a cool idea. But one host was like, charity, I will never forget charity's great and all, but how do you go to that level?
Like you said, at least people would pretend to go along with it. Like you're who thinks to be that guy? Charity's great and all.
The one guy that's like, yeah.
And class act not dropping the name, even though he says
he
remembers exactly who he is.
I'll never forget his name. I know who he is. I know where he works.
Wait, it wasn't me,
He's
was
still
it?
in the industry. And that was Russell Fisher. It was the Dynasty Trade Addicts podcast, and no. It's funny.
Scott, are you sure I made playoffs? Still can't find myself on the site. If you are a sleeper person, make sure your sleeper ID matches the sleeper name.
I feel like he's messing with us. I feel like he's messing with us.
Okay.
But if he's not, let me know. I can let you know. But yeah, definitely make sure your sleeper handle matches, because that's how we match you.
Sorry, scrolling through all of the everyone saying hi and just screaming food for some reason. I don't see why.
Why
yay
not?
Food.
Oh my god, I could use some food. That's a good idea.
Oh man, I had McDonald's for dinner for some reason, and like my stomach is still screaming about it. It was a terrible choice. But I
haven't had McDonald's in 23 years.
Wow.
I love McDonald's.
Well,
I do.
I'm an unforgiving guy when it
Yes.
comes to food. Sometimes I think we've talked about this,
Yes.
that I got sick at McDonald's twice in a row within a week, and I never ate there again. And my wife and I went to Arby's once about 15 years ago, and we're starting to gag, and we open up the Arby's, and the meat is like green in the middle. And so we've never been back to Arby's. Like we know logically that doesn't make sense, that like if we go to an Arby's, the meat's probably fine. If I go to a McDonald's, I'm probably not going to get sick. But because of those instances, I cannot eat McDonald's or Arby's anymore.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I also love that logic plays no part in it, because the same exact way when I put my mind to not being for something anymore, doesn't matter how real the reason is or not. It is, my heels are metaphorically in the ground. I'm done. For those of us who didn't make the playoffs, are there upcoming opportunities to get considered for SFB 15 yet? I mean, we didn't announce one yet, but very soon. You know what? I like the people that watch this show more than most other people, so. Ooh, what's this? Is this the? Oh, there's no info on it. Yeah, so we're going to be doing the advent calendar again. And like last time, there will be a certain amount of, we have to figure out what to call the entries, because they can't be golden tickets again. So we have to figure out, because it's not, you got to change it up every.
VIP pass?
Ooh.
Club seats?
Bottle service?
So given the, I mean, oh man, I mean, oh, you got me considering this here.
You know, given the fact that the theme is. So I feel like that's what it makes sense to call them.
It does.
That's perfect.
It does. Russ, I was going to click on the exact same one. Oh my God. We were on. I wish I should screenshot that my mouse is still hovering over that exact video. I was going to do the exact video that you did for that. Oh my God. I'm so happy with you right now. Oh, you're not fired today.
Yes, I survive another day. But to answer your actual question, right now, no. But once the advent calendar does open, there will be some, I'll call them golden tickets for now still, in some of those boxes. If you want to join in, plus you'll get awesome signed jerseys when you win anyway. I
did tell Russ and Zach we should give out a SFB 15 spot on the show tonight, and they both said no. They said, we don't like the chat. We don't like the people that show up for the chat, so we don't want to do it. And I respect their decision.
That sounds like us.
Totally sounds like you.
Can I still buy shirts in the Fantasy Cares web? Yeah, shopfantasycares.com.
Yep.
Is still wide open with everything that's been created for SFB 14 is still hanging up there. So absolutely, please go. I have to figure we'll do something for Black Friday, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Are there koozies left? I have a box like this big.
How many of those are for Scott, though?
I have a question. Zero. Russ, I have a question. When you played the video, did you see me pumping my fist and excited? I was so excited. I was like, yes, Russ got where it was going.
I knew exactly. We definitely still have koozies. I'm going to start just throwing them in all of the boxes whenever I send anything out. Everyone's going to start getting koozies. I think it was Anne. Anne wanted koozies, and then like she won a Funko Pop, so I put it in like the box to make sure the Funko Pop box didn't get squished.
Like,
so
like
need
packing.
to protect the box somehow, right?
It's you get a koozie and you get a koozie.
Yeah. Charity is great, but even better when we could play fantasy football while doing it. That's right, Bob Gilchrist. We do always talk food.
I am barely responsible for any of that, says the guy in the Oreo t-shirt.
Says the guy wearing the Oreo t-shirt. So I got banana cream Oreos that and it's great because for me it makes me happy because I'm not a big chocolate person, and they have the golden Oreo cookies, which I felt like it should have been, because if it's a banana cream pie, usually that should come with the graham cracker crust.
Yes.
So it was pretty good.
I would say, are they good? I can't do aspartame, and a buddy of mine got me the Oreo Coke Zero, and it would be really good if it wasn't Coke Zero.
It was fine. Like it was. If I see that pop up right there in the
I did.
It didn't taste like Oreo, but after you drank and the Coke taste went away, there was that Oreo feeling in the back of your throat. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was not great.
But I'm a double stuff. I'm a traditional. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tim. I mean, I wish I had the ability just to be like, here you go, stuff, but I can't really do that. But you're in the Sticker of the Month Club, so you'll get stickers soon. See, the thing is, I'm even more traditional because I like regular Oreos. To me, double stuff breaks the ratio.
That's the opposite for me. I feel like double stuff is regular, and regular is garbage, and thin is diarrhea.
Well, thins are like pointless. Oh, wait, hold on.
Only double stuffs.
Yeah.
I hope that's what you meant by drop a video, Bob. I hope you meant show that to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there, all of a sudden I turn you guys on, and you're dropping all the hints, and
I know,
throwing out banners, and I was like, they're just giving away all the secrets tonight. I mean, I even heard you give away what SFB 15 was.
I know. We really shouldn't talk about it.
They want to hear. Of course, we got to talk about it. Hey, Bob, you don't have enough stuff on your plate. You want to make some holiday shirts?
I might have already done
that. I do.
Ooh, wait, hold on. There you go. This is actually, I mean, screw it. This is live. If you want to go to fantasycares.org/advent, you can join now. Clearly, it'll start December 1st because that's when advent calendars start. But get in now. Get your spot. Get your entry in to start winning. I already have the jerseys set aside. I've had them set aside for a while. I'm excited. I'd have to say, I think quality.
And these are the good ones, right? These aren't the...
Correct. These are... Everyone is going to be happy every single week. Like these are...
Every single day, Russ. Every single day, not week.
Yep, sorry. Every single... I'm used to every single Tuesday. Every single day, yes. Of course.
I will argue that the random ones are as fun as the...
No, they are. Yes, they are absolutely... I love the random jerseys. Those are so much fun. But like these are... You'll want to put these on your wall, and not just because of the story of winning winning a jersey from Fantasy Cares, because winning stuff from us is like the pinnacle of everything anyway.
Speaking of winning stuff from us, I have a bunch of stuff I want to give away at some point, Russ, and we need to figure out how to, because Joe Bryant, who we all know as one of the biggest jerks in our industry,
Absolutely.
just absolute jerk, just terrible person. He came to my home league draft, my home league that's been going on for 33 years. He comes up to the home league draft and hangs out with us, has a good time. But he leaves a bunch of these koozies at my house. These football guys koozies. Mostly because Joe Bryant hates me. And he also left a bunch of stickers.
Oh.
So we need to give some of these away on the show. If you don't know, chat, Joe Bryant and I have been extremely good friends. One of my best friends in the industry for a very long time. Love Joe. He's the absolute best.
This is the size.
I can't stand koozies.
But I'm with Bob. I do not like koozies. I hate them. Koozies are not my thing. So I need these out of my house. Look how many there are. There's so many. There's so many, and they're in my house.
Send them to me, and we'll give them away at the expo next year.
It's like my son with napkins.
I'm pretty sure Joe's already giving them away at the expo.
I know, that's why it'll be funny that we'll give them away.
I like how people have things. Like my son, Ian, like the feel of cotton or napkins and stuff like that. Like it's like, ugh, to him. He can't stand it. Like people have their things. This is my thing. Get these out of my house. Get koozies out of my house. Don't want them here. It annoys me that they're here.
Charity's great and all, but no koozies. I want a Baymax sticker. Give me your Baymax sticker.
Ooh,
I want to set aside for you.
See, Sniper said, well, your Avi is, I think that is a koozie, right? Is that a beer bottle koozie, maybe? That Packers thing? If you love stickers, I hope you're part of the Sticker of the Month Club. Just putting it out there, fantasycares.org/stickers.
This one was one of my favorites that I saw.
I do, yes.
I have that one on my hard hat.
You might be able to get this one on your hard hat soon.
Nice.
Or
yes.
Or if you're part of the Sticker of the Month Club, you can get 1 to 3 of these depending on
that is a cool. That is cool.
This is a good month for him.
I mean,
no, we can't talk now. There's children present.
There's not children. He's 11. He's an adult now.
Shouldn't you be in bed, young man?
He just got back from a basketball mini clinic.
Oh, that's right. Because I made the joke that you'll be putting on a clinic after the clinic. Yeah, he hates me already. That's quick. Nice.
You heard Russ? You nod. No.
So what'd you have for dinner tonight?
What did we have? Hot dogs?
Yeah.
Maybe. It was so long ago.
It has not been that long ago that you forgot what you had for dinner.
It is 9:20 here.
Better question. What position do you play basketball?
Probably shooting guard or small forward.
Nice. I was a point guard.
It's mostly because he was short.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's taller than I am. That's
nice. Very nice. Things got way too quiet. Is it because he's here?
No, it's really just because.
No.
Whoop, here we go.
Because my phone rang.
That's why. Who made the playoffs? Bad week for Burrow on bye. Hope others step up. Well, don't forget, you also get your average built in there, which helps a little bit because, man, the NFL seems to know that SFB starts their playoffs early, so the teams they pick to put on bye is just awful. Like all the best teams seem to have like 12, 13, 14.
NFL, giving me crap about
Why doesn't
SFB.
the NFL care about my fantasy football team?
Right.
All right, so I think two of us made the playoffs. I'll let you guys guess which two of us made it.
It's Russ and Zach. That's my
guys
guy.
that have time to play fantasy football. Oh,
There's no, I know I didn't. I missed for the third time in 14 years. And Bob is just, I can't imagine it was Bob. Making
I'm
plans.
terrible at this.
But yeah, the NFL hates me for the bye weeks. And the Zoom I was on with Matthew in his league earlier, he went off on the scoring and SFB scoring over the years for, I swear, like 2-3 minutes. It was fun back and forth banter, but man, I think he will like next year though, because the scoring, let me detail the scoring here. So the scoring next year.
You think that's enough to counteract the tight ends, the play we've seen?
Absolutely. And Matthew's going to be so much happier. There are certain people in the industry that just really wish we'd tamp it down a little bit. So.
They don't understand the innovation that you create every year with these scorings. That's what they don't understand. I did, but barely. It doesn't matter if you barely make it in. You made it in. You could leave that barely part out because all that matters is that you made it. I got in. My ranking is 11-11, so that makes me happy because like that's when you see it on the clock, you make a wish.
Make a wish.
Yeah, you got to touch it and make a wish. If you just simply make a wish, it never comes true.
You touch the clock?
Yeah, you got to touch the clock and swipe across the 4 numbers. Otherwise, it doesn't come true. Have you been doing it wrong all these years?
Well, clearly, because none of my wishes have come true. My mom does that my mom taught me that for birthday cakes. Before you blow out the candles, you smear your name. If it says like "Happy Birthday, Russ" on it, you smear your name and then you blow out the candles.
Yeah. If you've been looking at the clock at like
so smearing your name is a good
just
thing?
like I'm going to make a wish. It's not coming true. You have to swipe across it.
You get a handful of frosting that way, Bob. That sounds
swipe
like
left.
to me.
Yeah, that's probably why my mom made that up too, just to like get that quick little frosting bit in first.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
Do I need to switch from sleeper to MFL to get more advantages with kickers? It helps. All I could say, like I know it's probably too early to have a breakdown of how many made the playoffs, but I absolutely would not have made the playoffs without my 3 kickers every single week.
Yeah, but I mean, for next year. So given that, it's really your call if you want to make the switch or not.
Yeah.
But
Wrong one. That was a tease.
But I'm very curious. I'm really looking forward to seeing that breakdown of the MFL versus sleeper, because it's so funny where a lot of these people on sleeper, rightfully so, complain that they can only start 1 kicker and how like MFL must have the advantage, and it's just like you still underestimate how people are so beholden to the idea that kickers don't belong in fantasy that they don't even look at the scoring to see how helpful they would be. That
I'm going to do that data in the morning. I really want to check.
Or you could just do it now.
Wow, well, Scott's doing
that. Don't do it now, Scott. I was kidding.
I feel like you guys haven't given anything.
Uh-oh. The glasses came out.
All right. I'm going to mute it, and I'm going to figure this out.
I think you guys should give something away.
What should we give away? I mean, I got Funkos, I got jerseys, I got stickers, I got Does anybody want a dog?
I've only got bubble tape. That's all I got here.
Yeah,
I got a measuring tape.
You should probably give a Funko away.
Okay.
The third one.
Okay.
Who we got?
We have a Buzz Lightyear Funko signed by Floyd Norman, who was an artist on the movie
Nice.
of Toy Story 4.
That's some deep knowledge.
I looked it up.
Oh. It's still you learned it. You learned it.
I did. Are we just doing a wheel? I mean, this is your show right now.
It's not my show. I just came on because you guys are giving away secrets. I'd rather give away stuff than secrets. Secrets are more important.
All right. Well, I mean, let's do it. Just type Buzz into the chat, and you'll get entered onto the wheel.
Not your buzzed, but Buzz.
I mean, if you are buzzed, then you're enjoying this a lot more. Anyway.
Probably true. Probably true.
Buzz, 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 buzz.
I didn't see the show sheet. Where are you guys at on your show?
You were supposed to write it.
Okay. Give. Oh, Zach went shopping.
I did. It was fantastic.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did. We had I think there were like nine or 10 kids. We filled 11 carts. It was awesome.
It always is.
I think that like my favorite part though, Bob, about all of that and yeah, like the Marines and the Toys for Tots reps are really appreciative and it's great, but like watching the kids and like being able to explain to, because we had some younger kids this year, so like my boys are 11 and 9 and they were explaining to the younger kids like what we're doing and how it's going to make Christmas for other kids who might not necessarily get it, and you kind of see that light bulb come on and then to watch them go and just be excited about it and not because I think it's sometimes hard to, especially if you're a kid, to not want to like have that be for you, but like to watch that go and watch them understand and I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's so much fun.
Share screen.
My kids ask me every day, is today the day?
Yeah.
Is today the day? Today's the day where someone is about to win this Buzz Lightyear Funko Pop. That's what it is. Sorry, Jeff, you missed it by 3 seconds. Like just as I was about to hit. Hey, Sniper Mel, guess what? You'll get some koozies too. Congratulations, Sniper Mel. You are the winner of. Hold on, let me get rid of this so I can show it at least a little bigger. Whoop. Floyd Norman, an artist on Toy Story 4, signed Buzz Lightyear Funko Pop. Mel, I'm going to need you to DM me at Dynasty Outhouse or at FantasyCares.org on either Twitter or Blue Sky so I can get your info. And I'm going to need to write this down before I completely forget who won what. Buzz, Funko, Sniper, Mel. We did that with our kids in school supply drives. It was great to see it dawn on their faces. My kids, I tried 2 years ago when they were 7 and 9, and they did not grasp what was really going on. It was like, I'm glad I brought my wife along with me because she had to go take them somewhere else because they were just like, but I want it. Like, no, that's not what we're here for. We're here to like, they put like 2 in the car, 1 for me. 2 in the car, 1 for me. Like, no, nothing for you. But last year they went again, and like my daughter, who at the time was 8, was like walking around to random people in Target telling them what we're doing, and which is beautiful until she saw someone else doing it, but with like 3 toys. And she's like, well, we got like 6 cartfuls. And we're just like, we don't need to brag. They're doing something great, no matter how, like, just say that's awesome. And that's awesome. Like, okay, good check. I was supposed to call my guy today, but I forgot. So I'm gonna have to call my guy tomorrow. And so I'm gonna schedule mine soon.
Well, I ended up being really early this year because the only time that my contact, the staff sergeant, was going on vacation for 2 weeks, and then they had like drill.
Like seriously, you're the Toys for Tots guy. You don't go on vacation during Toys for Tots time.
Yeah, well, man, I guess you go when you can go, but
then you shouldn't be able to go then. Having a rough time, Scott?
30 in a row.
30 in a row, what?
The data says MFL should have the advantage, that the kickers are more secure, that you should start more kickers. For the third year in a row, the advantage was on Sleeper.
That is, see, it really is just the fact that
it's mental. It's people not realizing, people not attributing.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
by the math, by the ratio of the leagues, 1,609 people from Sleeper should have made the playoffs. 1,627 made it. 390 from MFL should have made it. 373 made it. So there's about a 0.01%, like a 1% change, right? Yeah. Like, or 0.1% change. Yeah. So basically 17 teams from MFL who should have made it didn't.
Yeah, and it's literally just because that Sleeper is forced to start a kicker, and since you don't have to on MFL, people just won't. And again, if they would just, I mean, good for them for not looking at the scoring, because that helps me get in. You know, I do a little better because they do worse. So good. Keep not looking.
Yeah.
I thought you broke something, like how distraught you seemed, head in hands.
No, just it's shocking to me that every ounce of the data says that you can score more on MFL. Every ounce of the data says that. But people do not play at that. You cannot, I've talked about this on Commission Impossible. You can do the settings however you want to try to get people to do things, but the biggest variable you could never control is the human element of how a person plays their fantasy team.
Yeah. And there's
number one thing you can't control.
There's such a psychological piece to going against what the conventional wisdom is. Like, there really is. Because even if you're right, if you go against the grain, you have that chance of being wrong and looking completely foolish. But if you play it the way everyone else does, at least you're wrong with everybody else.
Yep. I can't explain it. There is absolutely no reason why. Like, this is probably the one year I went the most like, we're redlining on the car at this point. We're redlining where it makes no sense for Sleeper to have had the advantage. But nope. That's exactly what happened once again.
More importantly, Bob, what'd you guys have for dinner tonight? Did you have dinner yet?
Well, everyone had something different. The kids had pizza. I had a nice steak and cheese calzone.
Ooh.
And I don't know what my wife did. She went out with some other type 1 moms.
Oh, so she had a good time without you.
Yeah, she literally just walked in like 2 minutes ago.
Good for you.
Yeah, I got the kids to sleep before she got home, so
She can just go straight to bed, not while you're here, so she doesn't have to see you. That's like a perfect night for her.
I think she did not pass go, and she did not collect $200.
Yep, straight to bed, straight to sleep before you even get there. That sounds perfect. All right. Well, I mean, we passed that hour mark. It looks like we're kind of out of things to talk about. But I will bring up one more time. Did you put the new picture up in here, right? With the
I did.
It's not up here. Oh, you put this here.
You probably can't see it because you're not. I guess I have to do it, huh? Because you're not there yet. You haven't updated yet.
I haven't updated yet. There you go. Yeah, there it is. Now I see it. If you go to fantasycares.org/advent, you can join in the advent calendar right now. I believe it's just $40, gets you in for all 25 days. It gets your name in there twice, so you can win twice. We just, last year we had a little bit of a problem where we didn't limit the amount of times you could win, and got a little iffy at times. So now your buy-in gets your name in there twice, so you can still win 2 jerseys of these 25. And like we said before, in some of those boxes will be your passes to the VIP section, your passes for bottle service, your passes to whatever we decide to actually call Golden Ticket 2.0 into SFB 15. So you might as well join now. You have the money now. You might as well just spend it right now. Don't worry about having it later, because you might not.
That is wow. That is dark, Russ. That is really dark.
Charity's
Please
great.
don't spend your last dollars on our little contest.
No, yeah. If your choice is something awesome for your family, or
like food on the table,
even basic needs, please do not. That's not. No.
We have different priorities, apparently. I'm trying to bring in the money for Fantasy Cares at all costs.
So Zach and Russ, you do this show every week.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like having a random, annoying third person on the show?
We're used to Bob being here at this point.
Oh, okay.
I've come a couple times.
Okay.
So what about the fourth guy?
How's the chat feel? Me taking over the show at times with random stupid stories.
Well, Crazy Tim liked your stories. He said thanks for story time.
Well, I paid him to say
so awesome. Thanks, fellas. Lots of fun. So they enjoyed y'all being here.
I just jumped on seeing I just didn't give away SFB 16.
Should we give it away? I mean, we joked about an SFB 15 spot. Should we give away a 16 spot on this show?
Yeah, in like a year.
Okay, we'll wait.
It happens live on Zach and I cannot be made the bad guys on this one. Bob said no. Bob said no. Next time with Bob.
Some people like to jump the gun a little bit. Is that the right term?
Yeah. Yep. That is the right term. Jump the gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it goes to
it's a gunshot from a race. You start quicker than before the gun shoots.
It wasn't actually a real gun.
Can we be real with each other for a second? I never knew that's where jump the gun came from.
Yeah, it comes from the track and
running.
Races.
Yeah.
I
Seriously,
never really thought about it before.
And next thing you're going to tell me is you didn't know that Jump the Shark was from the Happy Days Fonzie episode.
No, that I know.
Okay, I was going to say.
If you want to talk TV and movies, that I got down. That I know all the stupid stuff about. Do you know where Easter egg came from?
No.
Anyone? Easter egg?
I do not.
you know, well, the version of Easter egg, like when you hide something in a movie or something.
Right.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. They were filming overseas, and no one where they were was celebrating Easter, so they did on set, and they actually hid Easter eggs in places that were visible in the movie. So they hid an Easter egg.
Do you mean Easter eggs for a movie?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, people have been doing Easter eggs for literally.
Rocky Horror Picture Show did not invent actual Easter eggs, but like using the phrase Easter egg for something hidden in a movie or a TV show or something.
Okay.
That is from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Because, like I said, when I go down rabbit holes, I go down rabbit hole. Like back in the early days of the internet, I used to just sit on IMDb and read and read and read and read and read.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have friends. Like if you were on Blue Sky today, someone said like post a picture of like your former self or something like that, and I posted that picture.
It was you in a bunny costume in a rabbit hole.
Well, it was actually me in a marching band outfit, which might as well be a bunny outfit because that's how many friends it got me.
Mm-hmm.
But after that one, we're actually going to call it a night. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Thank you everyone for just being your awesome selves and, you know, giving up your Wednesday evening to come and sit and chill with us. We appreciate it so much. And just in case it was not clear enough, the theme for SFB next season is going